Hello everyone, let's solve this question together. Now given what 2 to the power of s plus s equals to 5, we are asked to look for the value of x. Okay, now our first step, what you're going to do in this question, since our left hand side is what 2 to the power of s plus x equals to 5 and our right hand side is 5, your first step is to subtract x from both sides. That is your first step. Subtract x from both sides. Let's do that quickly. If we do that, we're going to have what 2 to the power of what x equals to what 5 minus what x, because we subtract what x from both sides. That's our first step. Our second step, what you're going to do here is to divide both sides by what? By 2 to the power of x. We are dividing both sides by 2 to the power of x. That's our second step. So if we divide here by 2 to the power of x and also divide the whole of this by 2 to the power of x, you see that 2 to the power, but obey the law of indices here, is the same thing as what 2 to the power of x minus s equals to 5, okay, minus what s divided by what 2 to the power of what x, right? But obeying the properties of indices. Do you see why obeying properties of indices is very simple, interesting? Okay, now s minus s is 0, so that means this now becomes 2 to the power of 0 is equals to 5 minus s divided by 2 to the power of what x, right? And by the properties of indices, that anything raised to the power of 0 is what? Is 1. It means or implies that 2 to the power of 0 is 1. So it means that here is what 1 equals to. Now look at the amazing thing we are going to do here. All these things we are doing, we are obeying the properties of what? Indices. Do you know that we are not wrong? We are not wrong if we decide to write all this as into 5 minus s, okay, multiplied by 2 to the power of what? Minus what? X. By obeying the what? The properties of what? Indices. This is amazing. It's amazing. Okay. All right. Now what are we going to do here? Now at this point, I want what is inside the parenthesis, which is what? X 5 minus s, to become the exponent here. For me to achieve that, what I have to do is to multiply both sides by what? By 2 to the power of 5. If I multiply both sides by 2 to the power of 5, I will achieve that. Yes, but obey some of the properties of what? Indices. Let's do that quickly. We are multiplying both sides by 2 to the power of 5. But why are we multiplying both sides by 2 to the power of 5? Because I know some people will wonder. The reason why we are multiplying both sides by 2 to the power of 5 is because we want what is inside this parenthesis. Okay? What is inside this parenthesis? To become the exponent here. Already we have minus s, and minus s is here. For us to have this 5 that's here, to become the exponent here, we have to multiply both sides by 2 to the power of 5. That's amazing. So it means that 1 multiplied by 2 to the power of 5 is equals to into 5 minus what? X multiplied by 2 to the power of s multiplied by 2 to the power of what? 5. Because you are multiplying both by 2 to the power of 5, right? Now 1 multiplied by 2 to the power of 5 is the same as what? 2 to the power of what? 5 equals to into 5 minus s multiplied by. Now from here, remember one of the properties of indices that said that if you have a to the power of m multiplied by a to the power of n, this law states that if the bases are the same, okay, and if the bases are the same and the relationship between them is multiplication sign, take a single base and add the what? And add the exponents, right? That's what you are going to do here. So take a single base, which is 2, and add the what? Minus s plus what? Plus 5. Okay, because we are adding the exponent. So it means that 2 to the power of 5 is equals to into 5 minus s multiplied by 2 to the power what? 5 minus what? X. Because minus s plus 5 is the same as what? 5 minus x. That's amazing. This is pocket genius, my brothers and sisters. I love this. Alright, at this point, what are we going to do? Do you know that this is the same thing as what? Into 5 minus s multiplied by 2 to the power of what? Multiplied by 2 to the power of what? 5 minus s is equals to what? 2 to the power of what? 5. At this point, what are we going to do? What are we going to do at this point? At this point, I want to introduce one of the properties of logarithm. That if you have what? Ln e to the power of what? Ln what? Ln p is equals to what? P. This is one of the properties of in this logarithm. Okay? So I'm not wrong if I decide to write this 2 to the power of 5 minus s as into 5 minus s multiplied by e to the power of what? Link 2 to the power of what? 5 minus what? X equals to what? 2 to the power of what? 5. I know you'll be wondering, why are we taking only this 2 to the power of 5 minus s as e to the power of link 2, 5 to the power of x, and e to the power of link 2 raised to the power of 5 minus x? There's something we are looking for. Okay, I will come to that. Okay, remember your Lambda W function. There's something we are looking for. Okay, remember that if you have the Lambda W function of into s multiplied by e to s is equals to what? X. Now, the reason why we are introducing e here, so we can apply our Lambda what? W what? Function. Okay, at this point we are not also wrong if we decide to write all this as into 5 minus s multiplied by e to the power of what? Into 5 minus s multiplied by what? Link 2 equals to 2 to the power of what? 5. Wow, this is pocket genius. Amazing. I love this. Now, at this point, what are we going to do? Now, let's take all this 5 minus x as this s that's here. And let's take 5 minus s link 2. But do you know that 5 minus s link 2 is not equals to 5 minus x? But what are we going to do so that this and this must be equal? What you have to do is to multiply both sides by link 2. If you multiply both sides by link 2, we'll achieve this. Bet me. Let's see. If you multiply this by link 2, we want to add this is into 5 minus s multiplied by what? Link 2. Okay, multiplied by e to the power of what? Into 5 minus s. Okay, link 2. Okay, is equals to 2 to the power of what? 5 multiplied by what? Link what? Link 2. Because multiply both sides by what? By link 2. Okay? Excellent. Alright, at this point, we are okay. We are free to take the Lambda W function of both sides. Why? Because s minus 5 link 2 is equals to the power here, which is s minus 5 link 2. So if they are equal, we can, all this will just give us the outcome of what? S minus 5 link 2. So the outcome here is just what? Into 5 minus s link 2 is equals to 2 to the power of 5 link what? Link 2. Alright, that's amazing. Alright, we are not taking the Lambda W function, right? Let's take the Lambda. We are not taking the Lambda W function. So that means the Lambda W function of into 5 minus s link 2 multiplied by e to the power what? Into 5 minus x link 2 is equals to the Lambda W function of into 2 to the power of 5 link what? Link 2. Wow. This is amazing. This is amazing. I love this. Remember that from these properties of Lambda W function, the outcome is just what? X. I know most of you guys will be wondering, Sagas, can you throw more light why this is X? Remember function. I heard about inverse function. Inverse function simply means an inverse function is a function that reverses the operation of another function. Remember that this just just appear here. If you have a function of f of x equals to e to the power of x, s multiplied by e to the power of x. Okay. Now, yes, a function of this, right? Let me see. What's the function? Let's see, function of e to s, right? E to x, right? So let me see what y is equals to e towards x. It means that s equals to e towards y. So that means, okay. Let's see if you have a function of x multiplied by e to x. Let's see this. It means that y is equals to s multiplied by e towards x. Let's change. It means that s is equals to y multiplied by e towards x. Now for us to, sorry, y, right? So that means, remember that since s is equals to this, and if we can know the value of y from here, we can know the inverse function of this, right? So for us to know the value of y, I have to take the Lambda W function of both sides here, the Lambda W function of this. Okay, it means that the Lambda W function of s is equals to what? Y. This is y. Why is it called y? I will explain. If this is y, it means that the inverse function of s is equals to the W function of x. You see, this is amazing. But most of you guys will wonder, about why are we having the W function of s multiplied e to s equals to x? Now, there's no space, but I'll do something very interesting. Remember, whenever you substitute an original function into the inverse function, you must have x. Take note. Whenever you substitute, this is the original function. Take note, this is the original function. If I substitute this original function, like the inverse function of into, this is the original function, right? S multiplied by e to x, it must give me what? X. And most of you guys will wonder, why will this give me x? Now, if I give a simple function here and solve, you see why it will give me x, but this must give us x. See? The inverse function of the original function will give us the outcome of x. So it means that since this is equals to, look at, take note, since this is equals to this, so that means anywhere of C, if this is equals to x, and f of x of s is equals to the derivative function of what? X multiplied by e to x. If this is equals to this, that means if I put into x multiplied by e to x here equals to this. Remember that all this is just x. So the derivative function of x multiplied by e to x will just give us x. Are you seeing how come this happened? Then note that whenever you substitute the original function into the inverse function, it must give us the outcome of x. So that's what happened. That's why you are seeing that the derivative function of x multiplied by e to x is always equals to x. Okay, but maybe in my next video I'll do more proper definition of this one. Everybody will learn, because most of you guys have not gotten how this just give us x. But remember, there's proof about it, there's a proof. Okay, so let me remove this from here quickly and consider what we have here. Sorry for this. All right, at this point, this will just give us what? Into 5 minus s link what? Yes, link 2. Link what? Link 2 equals to the derivative function of what? Into 2 to the power of 5 link what? Link 2. But I want to do another interesting thing here. Very interesting. There's something I want to escape. You know, there's something I want to do here. Pay attention, please. Do you know that at this point I can do another amazing thing everybody will love? From what? From this, right? We know that this to the power of this gives us p. Now let's see something. Let me see 2 to the power of 5 link 2. Let me see what I can do here, please. Okay, I'm coming. Now, if I raise this as this is 2 to the power of link what? Link 2 to the power of 5 multiplied by link 2. Multiplied by link 2, right? Don't forget that e to the power of link 2 to the power of 5 is same as 2 to the power of 5. Take note by obeying these properties, right? Now this 5 can go back, so it become e to the power of what? 5 link what? Link 2 multiplied by what? Link 2. Okay? Now they are not the same. I want it to be the same. So what I will do, I know that 2 to the power of 5 is 32. Is there any way we can raise? Let me see. Where's my calculator? Is there any way we can raise this 32? Let me see. I know that 2 to the power of 5 is what? Is 32, right? 32. Okay. I want to do, there's an interesting thing I want to do here. So everybody, it will be nice. Okay. All right. I'm thinking here is going to give me 5. I'm thinking of an amazing thing I want to do. There's something I want to do there. So it will give us a nice answer. 32. Oh, there's something I want to do here. Let me see. Yeah, it's 5 now. I'm fortunate. There's some thing I could have do here, so that I can have the output. You can just give me output. This thing. But where? I don't want to. Let me not waste my time here, because. So let's just divide both sides by link 2 and divide here by what? Link 2, right? Now this will cancel out this. So we see that 5 minus s is equals to the derivative function of 2 to the power what? 5 link what? Link what? Link 2, right? Then divided by what? Link 2. Okay. Now let's subtract 5 from both sides. It means that minus s is equals to the derivative function of into 2 to the power of 5 link what? Link 2 divided by link 2 minus what? 5. So since here I have minus 2 and minus x, let's multiply both sides by minus 1, so that this minus can go here. So it means that s will be equals to 5 minus the derivative function of what? Into 2 to the power of 5 link 2 divided by 1 link 2. And this is the solution to this problem. This is the answer. Now look at, it's not all calculators that have this operation. What I'm going to do, I want to use my calculator and operate this in my calculator, and I will drop the answer on the screen. I promise I must drop the answer on the screen. So it means our S equals to 5 minus the W function of what? 2 to the power of 5 link 2, all divided by what? Link 2. And this is the beautiful solution to this problem. So thank you so much for watching. Please, if you find it very interesting, don't hesitate. Do well to like, comment, and share to your loved ones so others will learn from it. Please, if you're not subscribed, consider to subscribe to this channel so anytime I do exciting videos, you will notify. So thank you so much.